Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Men's Conference, where men become alpha males. Today we are going to talk about a very sensitive topic, perhaps the most pervasive yet overlooked type of violation, that is gender-based violence. But not only that, gender-based violence from a man's perspective. So, with us, I have the alpha males themselves. I'll let them introduce themselves. Please start from...
Yes. I'm Mr. Black Pepper, the only spice in your bland life.
Yeah.
So let's get it.
And I'm Anthony Njenga, a counseling psychologist, and ready to hear from all of you here.
Thank you.
Fine latte.
Hey.
What
Right.
was that?
Yeah, I like the energy.
Yeah.
Right. Talking about gender-based violence, what do you know about that topic? What do you think gender-based violence is, especially in a man's perspective? Do you think it's something that is being talked about, or what do you feel about it?
As Mr. Black Pepper,
Yeah.
I'll say this: gender-based violence wasn't a topic to be discussed up until the 21st century. That's the truth. Yeah. It was mostly private, and it was mostly done to a gender that was inferior, so to speak.
Yeah.
So now we're in the 21st century, we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
The first time I probably knew what gender-based violence was is when I saw women being beaten by their own husbands, because I thought in a marriage things like that shouldn't happen. But once I realized or saw that a woman is being beaten by their husband and she doesn't do anything about it, that's the first time I realized gender-based violence is real. Yeah.
Anthony?
Wow. So gender-based violence actually against men is a topic that isn't talked about, because the society believes that men
are strong.
Yeah, they're strong. There's that society perspective that men shouldn't share out such stuff. Now, if you share out,
we're dominant.
You're weak. Unakaa ni kama you're not a man.
Yeah.
You know, so this is something that imekuwa ikikanyagiwa sana.
Yeah.
Not until now, the 21st century, because now we have been dealing with the gender-based violence on the women perspective.
Yeah.
Now that men are beating women, but actually there are women who beat men.
Bro, proper.
Yeah.
Proper.
We need to discuss that.
We need to discuss that.
Yeah. So it's actually something that haijaongelelewa sana.
Yeah, true.
But we really need to.
That's why we're here in the men's conference.
Yes, sir.
That's why we are here to talk to the young men outside there.
Yes, sir.
So gender-based violence to me is just it's inflicting pain, or it's inflicting like not really pain. It doesn't necessarily have to be pain.
Yeah.
It's just like even looking down upon someone, and then the detriment or the toll effect that it takes to them is like it makes them feel some type of pain psychologically, physically, and all that. But most dominantly, people speaking about physical violence. And I think that is what we're going to major on. And like Mr. Black Pepper said, that was something that was there. Until recently, people discovered, hey, there's no race, there's no race, there's no sex that is superior. So we need to just deal with our problems without making any physical pain on anyone. Be it man on woman, be it woman on man.
So what I'm getting is gender-based violence is not just sexual.
It's not
just sexual.
It's just
way more
physical.
than that.
It's an emotional thing.
It's
also.
an emotional thing also.
Yeah. So what gender-based violence scenarios do you know that have happened to men in your spaces?
As for me, let's for example, if it's a young man, ako shule, the young man is in secondary school. Sana gender-based violence in men is happening in this boys' school. Whereby unapata there's that harassment from other boys.
They call it monalization.
Yeah, the monalization from other boys. Unapata wanna try, let's say for example they want something from you, and the way they do it is so informal in a way that inakaa tu. So let's say kama unalala wanakuja, they start doing weird stuff. Kwanza the high school I was in, sita mention jina, but the high school it was a boys school. Kulikuwa na cases mingi sana za gender-based violence za machali. Unapata kama let's say for example a form 4 haujambaia kitu kwa canteen, yeye anakuja kukupata jioni na anaanza kukuharass, kukushika the private parts and everything, all those stuff. So it is something that imekuwa psychological trauma in happening in,
and there's no way to talk to your teachers,
because you feel no one will trust you. Aje mwenzako amefanya hivyo aje, how can you explain? Even explain aje to
or even out of fear that if you report him later on it will now be worse.
And also the problem is right now school is called system, and it's typically system, literally it's a system. How things were done then is how they are being done. The only thing that might have changed right now is just the corporal punishment. But it's a system. There's the monolization. A Form 1 will be referred to as a mono. A Form 4 will be accorded seniority. The most vocal and whatever student will be made a prefect, or will be looked down upon by the teachers. It's just a system. And when you go there and you want to speak out, no one gives you an ear because they went through that. It's like they want you to harden instead of you getting educated so that you become intelligent.
Can I ask a question? Do you think, because you've said this happens in high schools mostly, and boys schools, do you think they should have like a therapist in schools?
They should. But you know one thing, if you have a
counseling office,
if you have a therapist or a counselor in these high schools,
but I know these like most private schools
they have that.
They do that.
But now it's rare upate kijana ameenda kureport kisa.
So is that making it normal for you to report ndo shida sasa?
Yes. They don't hawananga ile courage ati nitaenda kwa the counselor nimwambie by the way this so and so amefanya hivi ama nimefanya this.
That's the problem of our peers, like our adults or parents. They don't give us that
talk.
You can tell us anything and we will be okay.
It starts from home because you see, like your parents has been abused. Maybe your father or your mother. So they deal with that pain all the time. Your mother has been beaten and you guys are there. You just look at her, she gets beaten and she'll still go prepare something for you and she'll still serve your father. Your father has been abused by your mother and your father will just still look cool because men are just supposed to behave strong. And again, why students are not going to or young people are not going to report these cases, especially in high schools. Most schools, especially the public ones, the counseling officer is still a teacher. Still a teacher who will be a master on duty, which is an MOD who will punish you when you are late to go to class. How do I confide in this guy who has just beaten me because I failed to wear the attire right?
Exactly.
So I can't speak to this guy. But if you just bring a neutral person, a person who doesn't go to class,
who does not take sides,
a person who doesn't interact with students academically, just his work is to counsel.
That's
now that brings me to this next question then. Like leave alone the school setting, right? Like even outside. What do you think is the major reason why men do not like speak up about these
the culture?
Culture too. The patriarchal view, where a man is always he's the alpha and the omega of everything. Right?
The backbone,
and I think it's a problem because also men, we're human beings and we also have emotions and we're also weak at some point. And other people might use that to our advantage, right? To their advantage, that is. And so I think the problem is communication. The moment you think we're all men and strong.
And this thing about portraying men as macho. You must have some machismo if someone throws a punch, an eye for an eye. I think that is bullcrap. An alpha male, if a man beats you, you don't beat them back. If a woman slaps you, you don't slap them back because you feel that your sex has been demeaned. You get. You see, if you can even file a case to the police that your girlfriend has beaten you, it makes sense. If you can tell your father or anyone, you can go report your friend and tell the mother, hey, this is my friend, but we had a disagreement and he beat me. It doesn't make you less of a man.
So this big boy don't cry thing.
Yeah, this big boy and you have to be all macho and all that.
Yeah.
F that.
Yeah.
Ina happening, that's what tunasema, that's why we tell this, we address it to the parents.
Yeah.
If you have that now, if you're a parent, a young parent now watching me, and you have a son or a daughter, and sai ni mdogo, at least akifika age, let's say the puberty age, that adolescent age, at least try and talk these things, make yourself free na huyo mtoto ndo aweze kushare, if it's sana if it's the man side, isikuwe ni that wewe you as a parent uliambiwa na your parent that, oh, men are not supposed to cry because men are strong and all that. That's bullcrap. You're supposed.
One more thing. Know your children.
Exactly.
Know your children.
So that means by just talking to them.
Communication. Talk to them.
Communication.
Without judgment.
From a young age. Don't wait for them to hit puberty and then to start from a young age.
Also, men should normalize venting. Women don't vent.
Yes.
We don't speak. You get bullied by someone and you don't want to. The only stories we tell is how you box someone.
The triumph.
You gave someone an uppercut. You gave someone a KO. But we don't come and say, hey, I experienced this and these guys beat me up. Because the boys will think you're weak or something. We should run away from that and also just be vulnerable.
Normalize.
Normalize.
This is violence. At the end of the day, violence is violence. It doesn't matter who was beaten who. It doesn't matter if you're big and
nothing can justify
a small-bodied
violence.
person beats you. Nothing justifies it.
Let me ask a question.
Yes, sir.
All this gender-based, all this violence on because of gender, right? Do you think sometimes it's just because of how our laws are made? Like when it comes to inheritance of land or things like that, mostly it's the men who get it and not the women.
True.
Which if you put the women on a less funded situation, they'll have to depend on the men who are they're superior because they have the money, the financial, right? So do you think that also is a problem? Like we have not really equalized gender roles
there's no equality.
Like another one is criminalizing LGBTQ communities, right?
I think that plays a role. Traditions have played a role in gender-based violence.
Exactly,
Because you see, to the point that you think your sister cannot inherit something, your sister, upon the demise of your father or your guardian, then you have to kick your sisters out.
Find another man
to inherit.
Or some people go to the level of inheriting. When we reach that, some people go to the point of inheriting the wife of a deceased.
Culture.
See, the culture is very crazy.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go for a break, and then after we come back, we'll also continue with the discussion while we add some gist to it. We'll start playing cards.
Good.
All right. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is the Men's Conference.
Crocodile inaweza tokea juu. Hiyo sijakula hata unataka nikufe kabla ni. I don't like it. I don't. Miss Kai na hipo ikitokelezea ivuruche simu yangu. No, ni sawa. Those who know me will tell you I'm not a lover of large volumes of water. But for you, we rove the different parts of the country and beyond just to make sure that we bring you the experience. We educate you, we entertain you, and we inform you.
The Home of Untold Stories.
Right, welcome back to the Men's Conference, where men become alpha males. Now, before we let for a break, my friend Fine Latte had a very informative topic or discussion that he was talking about. But before we continue with this topic, let us play a game we call cards. We are read,
your opinion
which
is
means
That's what happens.
Yeah.
If your opinion is not
your opinion
supposed to be in
is-
the book of alpha males,
Yeah.
then we pull a red card on you.
You read God.
If we don't do things by the code,
And then we get you the duct tape is for
yes.
zip your mouth.
We'll
Yes,
zip your mouth for
Alright.
a minute or 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
That means shush
I see.
until the alpha male decides you talk.
Good.
So
Good.
let's continue with the gender-based violence against men, and then we'll pick it up on gender-based violence against women by the men.
Yes.
Right? We were talking about why it's so hard for men to report these violations, and I think some of us spoke about it, and you had a point. We'd like to hear about it.
The point I had, it ran out, but I think just to add, I think the problem is one,
Yeah.
like we had said.
Yeah.
Like we feel our sex is superior.
Yeah.
And also men. Men are not ready to listen to each other.
Yeah.
Men don't like it when you vent.
Yeah.
You will have a problem with your relationship. Men will not listen to you.
Yeah, man,
And
deal
men
with
will
your
just
shit.
tell you, move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
They'll tell you,
Acha kulia kama
wewe ni
mama.
mwanaume, wewe una umama. You see,
Wacha
and
mama.
normalizing,
Unalialia aje bwana.
Unalialia aje.
Yeah.
normalizing that thing that umama
Yeah.
is not good.
It's not good.
I don't think even umama ni kitu mbaya, because we've been
Yeah.
raised up by even
Yeah.
saying umama is
Yeah.
gender-based violence.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
are demeaning women.
Yeah.
And you think women are all about just speaking
Yeah,
and
emotions
yapping
and-
and
Yeah, yeah.
emotions. And
Yeah.
just spewing emotion out there is not wrong. Just you saying what has been happening to you is not wrong.
Yeah.
Speak about it. And men, would you, it is an alpha male thing. It makes you a very, very much of an alpha male that you listen to a fellow man when he's venting about gender-based violence, especially the physical one.
And it's okay for men to cry.
It's okay.
normalize
Actually,
it.
it's
for men
okay.
to
Let's
cry.
normalize that.
Actually, crying is a way of dealing with emotions.
Yeah.
Because now, if you now put the perspective of men shouldn't cry, ati wewe ni brother, then upatana na situation kama hiyo tena. Again. No.
Yeah.
Si uta commit suicide man.
But so, do you think this thing is
Mr. Fine Lat,
Mr. Black Pepper.
Mr. Black Pepper.
Yeah, I have a contradicting idea here.
Yes, sir.
Yes. They said pressure makes diamond or coal,
yes, sir?
right? Yes. And as a man, sometimes you want pressure. Don't you think?
What type
Oh
of
well,
pressure?
yeah.
I
Type
think
of pressure.
sometimes, like let's say in a specific system, can be a school, work, or somewhere else.
Yeah.
And your colleagues or your mates are pushing you down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uko na umama nyingi. Why are you acting like a bitch? Stop being a pussy and all these things.
Yeah.
Now, do you take all these things and let them drown you down and you cry about it, or do you take all these things, put them down as your rock and stand above them?
And that's what I told you. And I'll
That's
think
an
about
interesting way
that's
to
what
look
I
at
said.
it.
Every
Yeah.
day you're coming to it.
Yeah.
You see, when all these things enter you, and you don't have someone to vent to.
Yeah.
You see what leads to it now makes you a beast, or it makes you work on yourself.
Yeah.
If it rings a bell in your head, and you're like, yeah, it's true. What I did, I'm being a sissy here. I'm being a whatever you say.
Yeah.
I'm being whatever they call them. Then you work on yourself. You become a better version of you. But some people, if you've watched if you watch a documentary about this R&B R. Kelly,
Yeah.
he was sexually abused by someone when he was young.
Yeah.
He kept quiet. He tried to speak to people. They told him no. He tried to speak to the brother said no. What did he turn out to be? So sometimes when we keep quiet and we think we want to just vent, myself and I, we go into isolation and all that, it makes us beats, and we start committing violence on our girlfriends. We start mistreating other people that are around us. We start mistreating the junior person. You even go to work and you want to mistreat your junior. You see?
But also, again, I think it varies with what has happened to you. You know, I cannot come to you and tell you I've been raped, and then you tell me stop being a sissy. That's a different, And then what happens is when we've been trained by society, man up, Big men don't cry.
men don't cry.
And then what happens is you take that in, and before you know it, you're contemplating now. I just want to hang myself. This is too much.
Yes,
I don't have anyone to.
I think as an alpha male, there's a fine line. Okay?
Yeah.
When you've been hit by adversities and violence, let's speak about violence. Yeah? If you've been hit by violence, as a man, I think you should have one or two people that you trust the most that you can tell this thing.
True that.
You can't move around just telling everyone and anyone your issues.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Those people, they might be your friend. They'll use that against you.
They use that against
most people will.
Yeah.
And that's toxic. It's toxic.
Yeah. So if you can find one person
to just confide in,
the one, so that if they do something bad to you, then
X is the one behind.
now you know who it is, right?
Yeah.
So I think as an alpha male, yes, we need to talk to someone, but you have to figure out who this someone is.
you trust.
Who that someone. Anthony, in your line of work, what would you advise a person as the first step they should take?
As the first what?
Step they should take when dealing with this,
With
gender-based violence, and they just need
man.
someone to speak to you.
Yeah.
Yes, first get someone you trust. Kwa mabeshte wako wote, angalia ule mmoja, ule mwenye unaamini. Kwa sababu ukienda uambie kila mtu, anaweza tumia that scenario kutry kuku. Violence actually inaweza happen from him to you now, and beshte yako. So first get someone you trust, someone you can trust and talk to and share your issue to. Then once you have told that person that issue, now you can unaweza jua venye unaweza deal na that issue yourself. How you can deal with it.
All right.
I have an issue. Let's talk about women.
Yes.
Because apparently when all this thing has happened, and we've experienced gender-based violence, we all want to show or translate our power somewhere. And we end up harming our women, our girlfriends, our sisters, and our mothers, the elderly, who are female, with this. What do you think about men battering women?
It's wrong, straight up.
It is wrong, but you have to understand, it has been accepted since the beginning of man.
It's a Precambrian practice. Yes.
If you're married and your husband beats you, if you're a wife, that means you can't go out there and complain. They'll tell you, oh, she's beating you because you're the problem.
You're the problem.
Right? That's how it really is. And so you have to deal with that. If a man beats me, then I'm the problem. So I have to change and not them. So that's the problem. It's been instilled in men that we can do this and get away with it. I think that's it is.
Being head of the house.
And it has been accepted for some reason.
It's been accepted,
which is wrong.
Which is wrong.
Talking of battering, I don't support battering. Actually, for a man kuchapa demu yake ama kuchapa bibi yake, that's one thing that I don't support.
An alpha
it's
male.
being a weakling. Let's just be honest. You're being a weakling.
It's not actually right. But let's come to this perspective. Imagine okay, hata kama umepiga huyo girlfriend yako, don't you think there must be a reason for you doing that? Don't you think inaanzanga from this lady causing emotional stuff
to
in
you,
your head?
for you to do it?
For example, let me give you an example. Umeenda nyumbani, umechoka, umetoka job. Now kumekuwa na misunderstanding kidogo, it's normal. Alafu now your girlfriend starts telling you, wewe hata akushautie, wewe hata sijui ni aina gani, wewe ni mzee wa aina gani, hata wewe ukuangi na maana, ufanyangi kitu.
You're not
Anthony, let me tell you.
Don't you think it starts from the emotional?
It starts there.
But I think we need to red card this guy.
But as an alpha male, you have to. An alpha male is respect. An alpha male is care. An alpha male is protection. That is what I usually say. So if you are not those, you are a miserable imitation of a man. If you will batter a woman because she has talk shit to you, or 1, 2, 3 triggered something, that is very much wrong. You need to just go sit, go take a long shower, think about it. As she prepares you that meal, or as you prepare her that meal, later talk about it. You don't need to meet violence or just leave.
Anthony wants to say something.
I want to say something. Before you.
Women, if a man beats you for any reason, whether you are on the wrong or they are on the wrong, he is stupid. But if he beats you again the second time, you are the stupid one. Because when he beat you once, you're supposed to have reported him or walked out.
Okay. Let me tell you something on whatever you just said. Umesema if a man beats the lady the first time, alafu ya pili ampige na ako hapo, anaweza kuwa the lady is stupid now.
Yes.
You know there are ladies who are comfortable with being beaten.
Because our parents normalize that.
Yeah.
You are beaten and you're told stay strong in the marriage.
Actually, the mothers-in-law, that's how you only the marriage.
You know, ladies who have been beaten by their men don't leave because of love. You know, love can make you stay in a relationship that there is domestic violence. You know that.
Indulge me.
But shouldn't you like take a step and know this is not right and report it? Like, why should you stay?
Anthony is right. I know we are usually asked to someone who's been battered or is in violence, why don't you leave?
Yeah.
The problem is there's complex systems of abuses here. It's not just physical.
It's not just
psychological.
Yes.
There's economical violence.
Sexual.
You understand? There's sexual violence. Yes. All the things have been put together, and it has put this victim in a state of a state of prison, like her mind, she can't even think. She doesn't have that self-determination that I can get out of this. All she knows, this is my world, this is my state of position, and this is where I'll remain. It reaches that point, and it's crazy.
And it lost the first thing it does, it lost their esteem down. And you see, when your esteem is lowered down, you cannot become anything. You cannot even think, because you know everything you're doing is wrong.
Anthony said something bad. He said, what if your wife
it was a question. It was a question.
Pokes you a little bit, and you decide to slap them a little bit. Isn't that cool?
It was not cool. No, I did not support. No. Listen. I did not support. I did not. That's why I started with saying I don't support.
Yeah. It's okay, but listen. If you've abused someone, and then you want to give an excuse that it was them who made you
cannot validate that.
You cannot validate that.
But can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? As we finish up on that. No.
I need to turn this around. I need to turn this around.
As I finish up, do you know? I want to tell you something, and I want you to understand that violence doesn't start with action.
No.
You know that.
Verbal.
Yes. Like let's say for example physical violence. A guy can't just wake up and start punching. No. You know, there must be that amekuwa akikwambia wewe nitakupiga. Nitakupiga. The next time anakuja akinakwambia nitakudunga hii kisu. You know, it starts
nitakufinya.
So now tusiangalie violence in a perspective that it must be action taken.
And that's what I was saying. Like oogling around, giving those erotic comments to women. Do you consider that as gender-based violence? Or a lady comes and tells you, hey, I like what's in your pants.
Tell us.
Now, because of time, we will stop here. Okay. But before we leave, I'd like all of us to give one statement to our viewers about this topic.
Okay, I started one.
Just a few seconds, 5 seconds, and then
we're in 21st century, Your mom's food is not the best food in the world. It is time you test things outside there. So information is key. One, you have to understand that women are, if you think they were inferior, they're actually more superior than men, to be honest, because they raise you and they feed you and you become an alpha because of them. Second of all, LGBTQ community is real, guys. They're here, they've been here for a long time, and we have to respect them. Yes.
What I'd like to say about this topic of gender-based violence is, as I just mentioned earlier, you have to listen to the non-verbals. In psychology, we say we don't listen, we don't look at, or we don't listen, or we don't just see whatever you tell us. We listen to the non-verbals. And the non-verbals are like, as I just said, if a guy tells you nitakupiga, just mark those words. Angalia tu hizo words and take action. Don't assume that ameisema because ako angry or something. Just take those words so seriously. And please, to all dear ladies, if you are in a domestic violence relationship, please leave. Run for your life. Run for your life.
Lastly,
but what I'll just say is, men, you don't need machismo to make you an alpha male. That is making you a miserable imitation of a man. Ladies, this is here. Forget all the Precambrian school of thought that a woman has to stay in a relationship and to be beaten is part of showing love. The moment it happens and you're beaten once, the man is a fool. When it happens twice and you're still there, you are the foolish one. Don't be the foolish one, walk away. Talk with authorities. Let's shun gender-based violence.
All right, you heard it from the males, the alpha males. Now, thank you for watching. We will see you next time. This has been the Men's Conference.